We just wrapped up Nvidia's earnings call, and here's everything that you need to know. First, you missed nothing special during the earnings call. Jensen literally would not answer any questions directly. Feel free to review it. We literally broadcasted the entire earnings call. He sounded like Kamala Harris, where he kept kind of repeating almost the same thing over and over again. It's like when you ask Kamala Harris a question and she starts talking about that she grew up in a middle-class family and she worked at McDonald's. It's like, dude, answer the question. Are Blackwell chips overheating? Yes or no? He wouldn't answer it. Again, this doesn't take away that Nvidia is a super successful company, but he simply was avoiding that question. It did not look good. And I think Wall Street is seeing through his BS. So this is exactly how it reacted so far. The market originally sold off. I bought into the dip and I rode it back to the previous highs. If you didn't watch today's earlier live stream, feel free to watch it. I did it all within the live. I bought into the dip. I didn't have an open position. I bought into the dip and then took profits as it went back to retest previous highs right before the earnings call started. And then as it started, I then saw signs of resistance. I opened up a short and made a little bit more money. I'm up $6,000, nothing crazy. It's a good day. I'm very happy with it. And that's pretty much it when it comes down to Nvidia. Nvidia, when it comes down to the way that it's trading. Again, we wrapped up the overall call. The earnings actually reported. They came in good. 81 cents per share, and revenue came in at $35.1 billion versus the expectation of $33.09 billion. But remember, they've exceeded expectation before, just like they did last time. But last time, they also sold off after they reported earnings because it ramped up so much before the actual earnings was reported. And that's what we're seeing very similar characteristics of this time. It's not even just that, but now also Jensen is avoiding this concern that a lot of investors have about this Blackwell chip that's supposed to be their latest and their greatest. They also talked about margins and if they were going to go back and get better to that 75% margin range. And they almost like wouldn't answer. They had to ask. Another analyst had to ask this very specific question of, okay, well, is mid to low 70s? Is it going to be like less than 73.5% or higher than 73.5%? And they reiterated that it's going to be less. So margins are going to be a little bit slimmer. They also asked a very good question about Trump and the next administration and the potential tariffs that might present themselves. But now when it comes down to this, and feel free to watch the live stream if you don't believe me, when he was asked about, hey, well, what do you think about these tariffs that might eat into your actual profit margins? He said, well, we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so you're not going to give us a forecast on those potential tariffs, but you'll give us a forecast and expectations on all these other products that you're creating. It's like, let's talk about all of the good, but none of the bad. Complete BS. Would also not answer that question about the Blackwell chip. That just baffled me. That, like, why wouldn't you just give a straightforward answer when it comes down to that? Well, I know why you wouldn't, because your stock would sell off. But other than that, again, Nvidia reported better than expected earnings. Yes, but that's based off of previous quarter. What we're focused on is this quarter for Q4 of 2024 and, of what's to come in 2025. And everything looked fine, but it's their inability to answer the questions that I think will end up biting them in the butt. And we'll see. We'll see how Wall Street reacts. Are we going to retrace back down to the moving average to lows of 136, or are we going to come back to retest previous highs? I think that the earnings is justifiable on why Nvidia could possibly rally, right? But I think that the way that Jensen answered those questions, I think Wall Street is going to see through that BS. Nonetheless, again, very successful day, at least for myself. And the only reason it was successful is not because I bought before earnings was reported, but because I waited for the market to react and then I bought into the reversal. The V-shaped reversal was a beautiful setup. We talk about it in the LPP lesson library all the time, and I made a little bit over $6,000 so far. I also traded at MSTR, shared it with my LPP team. Right before close, took a short, became extremely overbought. This is one of the most overhyped up companies that I've seen in a while. If you look at this on the day chart or on the 4-hour time frame, I can't wait for this thing to crash. MSTR, incredibly bearish, but again, incredibly bullish right now. Incredibly bullish, incredibly overbought, and long-term, there's no confirmation of an active sell-off. But I really do believe that this thing's going to retrace, and when it does, it's that slingshot effect. It will completely just come crashing down. Same thing with PLTR. I really enjoyed going long on this one. Actually, I went long. I didn't go short. So long on this one, made $3,000. So $3,000 on this one, MSTR $2,700, and then Nvidia a little bit over, right around $6,000. So not a bad day, right around 12K on the day. You guys let me know what you think about Nvidia. Are you excited? Do you think Nvidia is a good purchase at $145 per share? There's a lot of people that were saying, hey, we think it's going to go to, $150 per share, 155, 160, 200. Here we come. But again, I'm always viewed as the bad guy when I talk about Nvidia because we're here to poke the holes. We're here to ask and hope to get the answers of those difficult questions. and Nvidia just didn't follow through with that. So I think that Wall Street will eventually end up seeing through those holes, and we should end up seeing a retracement. But again, only time will tell. It doesn't matter what my opinion is. As of right now, Nvidia is still holding at 145. It's only down 1.24%. So it's not a very significant red day. So we'll see what the sentiment is tomorrow, and if we see selling pressure or buying pressure. So very excited to follow up. I hope to see you for tomorrow's live trading session. Second link in the description down below, and you can join for as little as $1 a day for the current sale we have going on, and it's a one-time payment, lifetime access. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.